Hi guys, it's Heather here at Dynoclimb. I put together a short but very active flow that focuses on strong shoulders and flexible hips. It might help to have a towel, yoga towel, or beach towel handy to support you in a couple of the poses. And as usual, we'll start it with breath work. Feel free to pause the video and continue the breath work longer than we use it here. You may want to connect with your breath, especially in a time of crisis like this, for as long as you can. The same goes for the end of practice in Shavasana. The video may end, but you can lay in stillness as long as you feel comfortable and bring your practice to a close when you're ready. So to start, we will come down onto our backs, setting up for Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can bring that rolled up towel, if you like, beneath you before you lay down. And then bring the soles of the feet together. You have the option of drawing that towel up under your hips to support your legs, so there's no tension in the groin as you release the knees out to the side. Adjust the pelvis so that it is neutral back, shoulder blades beneath your body, arms come out to the sides, palms facing up. And begin to breathe in and out through the nose. Eyes closed, bringing a softness to the face. We'll begin by inflating the belly. Feeling if you can bring that breath down as far as the hip points and exhaling completely, feeling the belly deflate, falling back down toward the ground. One more breath cycle, isolating your breath into the belly. And on your next inhale, we'll shift the breath into the side ribs, feeling them expand out toward the sides of the room before the exhale, causing it to draw back together toward the spine. As you inhale and exhale into the ribs, focus on bringing an evenness to each breath and considering a pause at the top and bottom of each breath cycle. Now we'll shift the breath into the chest space, feeling the sternum rise, pausing at the top, and exhaling, feeling the sternum fall back down toward the ground. See if you can feel that inhalation move up into the area of the collarbones, maybe the fronts of the shoulders. We'll take 2 full breath cycles, putting it all together. On your next inhale, fill belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, press it all out. One more time, inhaling deeply, filling belly, ribs, and chest. Pausing at the top, and exhaling to release everything back down. Opening the eyes, bring the hands to the outsides of the knees, drawing the knees together. If you have a blanket or towel underneath you, you can remove it. And then hug the knees in toward the chest. We'll extend the feet up toward the ceiling so that the shins come to vertical. Pulling the knees in toward the armpits, you can grab the shins, the ankles, or come to the outsides of the feet, moving into happy baby. Once you're here, forward tilt that pelvis, bringing the sacrum down, plugging the arms into the shoulder sockets, feeling the spine long on the mat. Maybe you rock side to side, starting to warm up that hip joint. And exhaling to release the feet, hugging the knees back into the chest. And draw the head up toward the knees, beginning to rock front to back this time. With control, take 3 or 4 cycles before you come up to a seat. Once everybody's seated, we'll move our legs around, coming toward tabletop. So we'll set up with the toes tucked, knees directly beneath the hips, hands planted on the mat directly beneath the shoulders, head in line with the spine. And as you exhale, we'll move into cat. So backward tilting the pelvis, head is heavy as you cat the back. And on an inhale, forward tilting the pelvis, gaze comes forward slightly, shoulder blades move down the back. With your breath, we'll continue through cat-cow, patting the back on the exhale, moving into cow on the inhale. We'll go through this 2 more cycles. after your second exhale, come back to table and pause. On your next exhale, extend the right leg out, tucking the toes. And we'll prepare to come into spinal balance. On an inhale, we'll lift the right leg to hip height and left arm forward as if you were shaking hands with the person in front of you. Gaze is still down at the floor. Keeping that back leg internally rotated, the toes face the ground, the core is contained. On an exhale, we'll move the left arm out wide like a wing and right leg out to the right side. Pausing here for an inhale, we'll exhale to bend the elbow and knee, coming back underneath, but hovering. Inhaling to extend back into a spinal balance. Exhale, arm comes out wide like a wing. Pausing for the inhale. Exhale to bend back underneath, and one more time. We'll inhale out into spinal balance. Exhale, lower leg and arm out to the side. Pause for the inhale. Exhale, bring everything back down. Pausing here to reconnect with your breath before we move it to the other side. On your next exhale, extend the left leg long, toes tucked. Inhale the right arm up, left leg to hip height, containing the core here. The gaze continues to be down at the mat. And preparing to move into that little flow. On your next exhale, we'll extend right arm out wide and left leg. Pausing for the inhale. Exhale to bend, coming underneath. Inhale to extend. Exhale, come out wide. Pausing for that inhale. Exhale to bend back underneath. Last time. We'll inhale back into spinal balance. Exhale out wide. Pause for the inhale. And exhale, return the knee and hand to the mat. Planting everything here, keeping the hands and knees where they are. Begin to move the whole torso in big circles. Nice and slow. Exhaling toward the back. Inhaling toward the front. And switching direction. Next time you're toward the back, continue to let the hips move over the heels, keeping the toes tucked. We'll walk the hands forward for an active child's pose. We'll keep the elbows lifted, the head moves toward the mat, starting to stretch in the side waist here. Reaching forward with the fingers, the shoulders still move down away from the ears. And on an inhale, we'll press into the feet to hover the knees. And on an exhale, we'll lift the hips into downward facing dog. Getting into the backs of the legs here, we'll move a little bit more as we inhale, bend the knees once more, coming to a hover. Exhale, pressing up into downward dog. 2 more times with your breath. Inhale, bending the knees to a hover. Exhale, pressing into downward dog. Last time, inhale to bend the knees. Exhale, press into down dog. Focusing on that forward tilt of the pelvis. Straight arms, heavy head. We'll inhale to lift the right leg. And exhale to step it through the hands. And lower the back knee. We're coming into a low lunge here to start. Check in that the right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Toes are tucked on the back foot. We're going to move in and out of low lunge and half split. So as you exhale, we'll shift the hips back, drawing the right toes toward the face, walking the hands back, level hips. Pausing for an inhale, and exhaling, walking back into low lunge. Pausing for that inhale. Exhale, walk it back into half split. Moving on the exhale back into low lunge. Pausing here. We'll inhale the arms overhead for Anjaneyasana. Gaze comes up slightly, length to the spine. Exhale to release the hands, clasping them behind the back. Drive the knuckles toward the floor, opening the chest, gaze comes up. Exhale to release, bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. We'll step the right foot back, coming through half plank, and then sending the hips back over the heels for child's pose once again. Maintaining that active tuck of the toes, elbows are lifted, pressure into the hands, preparing to lift into downward dog. On your next inhale, we'll hover the knees, and as you exhale, lead with the hips as you lift them up for downward facing dog. Chest moves toward the top of the thighs, straight arms, pressure through the heels. On an inhale, we'll lift the left leg into three-legged dog. And exhale to step it through the hands, lowering the right knee, coming into a nice low lunge. Checking in, left knee is over the left ankle. And as you exhale, we'll shift back into half splits. Left toes draw toward the face, hips are level. We walk the hands back. Moving on an exhale, we'll move back forward into low lunge. Pausing for the inhale. Exhale, send the hips back. Pausing for the inhale. On the exhale, coming into low lunge. And then one last time on the exhale. Send the hips back, toes toward the face, half split. And then exhale forward into low lunge. On the inhale, we'll bring the arms overhead for Anjaneyasana. Feeling the stretch to the hip flexors in the right leg. Make sure you're extending up, reaching up with the hands, reaching that spine a little taller. Exhale to release the hands down around. Clasping the fingers the opposite way this time. Drive the knuckles down toward the floor, and the gaze comes up, opening the chest. Exhale to release the hands. Bringing them down to frame the foot, we'll send the left leg back. Starting here in half plank, you can stay, or you can press into the big and little toe mounds and lift into plank. Now that we're here, notice how your upper arm bone and shoulder joint are working. Are you extended out or plugged? We're going to start by inhaling to extend up out of that joint and exhale, plugging in. We'll do this a few more times. Inhaling up, exhaling down. This micro motion creates a lot of strength in the shoulders. 2 more with your own breath. Inhaling up out of that joint and exhaling, plugging the upper arm bone into in the socket. Now we'll pause for the inhale and exhale the hips high. Coming back into downward facing dog. Next inhale, we'll lift the right leg for three-legged dog. Exhale to bend the knee. Allow the hip to open, keeping equal weight in the hands. Inhaling back into three-legged dog. We'll exhale to step the foot through the hands, coming into high lunge. We'll pause here and breathe, allowing the chest to come forward through the upper arms. And bending the back knee will allow it to push yourself forward into forward fold. Looking for straight legs here, long spine. And we'll inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins or thighs, and exhale to fold. Inhale, press into the feet, arms go out and around to come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes, reconnect with the breath. And on an inhale, the arms go down and around to go up. And exhale, leading with the chest, will fold forward. Bending the knees if necessary, plant the hands. We'll step the feet back into plank. Moving through those shrugs a few more times, we'll inhale to extend up out of the shoulder joint. Exhale to plug the upper arm bones. Inhale up. Exhale, plug. Inhale up. Exhale, plug. Inhale up. Last time we'll plug, pause for the inhale, and exhale, the hips go high for downward facing dog. Breathing here. Pressing through those heels, really pushing through the hands, lifting through the hips. We'll inhale the left leg high this time, and exhale to bend the knee, allowing the hips to open, keeping equal weight in the fingers and the hands here. Maybe you peek under your right armpit, taking a glance at the bottom of your left foot. We'll inhale back to three-legged dog. And exhale to step the foot through the hands. Pausing here in this high lunge. Allow the chest to shine forward. Maybe you come up onto fingertips, or if you have blocks, they're a great option. But if you don't have them at home, you can certainly make do. We'll bend the back knee and then use it to come forward into forward fold. Inhale, coming into a halfway lift. Hands come to shins, thighs. Exhale, fold. Pressing into the feet, arms go out and around to go up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes, 2 full breath cycles here. Reopening the eyes, broaden the feet wider than hips distance. Allow the toes to point out, coming toward 45 degrees. We'll inhale the arms overhead. Exhale to bring the hands through heart center and allow the hips to sink as well. Coming into a yogi squat. This is a time where if your heels don't come down, you can slide that rolled towel up underneath your heels. Wherever you are, we'll have the sit bones drawing down, the chest lifts, the crown of the head lifts. You can press the elbows into the inner knee, using those hands and elbows for leverage here. Bringing your gaze forward. And on your next exhale, bringing the hands down, you can step or hop into plank. Pausing for the inhale, we'll exhale to lower. Keeping the elbows grazing the ribs for chaturanga, coming down to the mat. We'll untuck the toes. Having the hands directly beneath the shoulders here. Backward tilting the pelvis. We'll inhale up for cobra. Lightness to the hands, pressing into the tops of the feet. Quads so firm, maybe your kneecaps don't touch. And exhale to lower. You can tuck the toes and prepare to move through child's pose, board plank, completely up to you. Once you get there, we'll pause for an inhale, and from there, we'll exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg into three-legged dog, and exhale to step the foot through the hands. This time we'll inhale the arms up, coming into crescent lunge. Pressing through that back foot, long spine, backward tilts the pelvis here. Energy through the fingertips. We'll exhale to open up the back foot toward the left side of the mat, toes still coming in slightly. Keeping that bend to the front knee, we'll bring the arms into warrior two. Gaze comes over the middle finger of the right hand. Draw the shoulder blades down, thinking about keeping that thigh parallel to the floor if you're able without bringing that knee forward of the ankle. Pressing into both feet, trying to rip that mat in half. And exhale, we'll windmill the arms around to frame the foot. Coming back up onto the toe mounds of the back foot, we'll step the right foot back to meet the left. Pause for the inhale. And exhale the hips high for downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, look at the top of your mat. And exhale to bend the knees and step or hop to the top. And fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press into the feet, arms go out and around to come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes, 2 breath cycles. On the next inhale, the arms go out and around to go up, opening the eyes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Broaden the feet. Toes come out to 45 degrees. Pause for the inhale. Exhale to sink the hips. Same towel option applies, lifting the chest. Sit bones draw down. Exhale, bringing the hands to the mat in front of you. Option to step or hop back to plank. Pausing for the inhale, we'll exhale to lower through chaturanga. Untucking the toes, hands are under the shoulders. Inhale to lift the chest for cobra. Lightness to the hands. Perhaps you lift them here, using the muscles of the back to keep the chest shining forward. And exhale to lower. Same options as before. We can tuck the toes and move either through child's pose or plank. Once you get there, we'll pause for the inhale and exhale the hips high for downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the left leg for three-legged dog. And exhale to step it through the hands. Inhaling the arms overhead. Pressing through that back foot, keeping this strong bend here. Reaching up, long spine. The back of the right knee is shining up toward the ceiling for crescent lunge. On your next exhale, we'll open the right leg toward the side of the mat, drawing the arms out wide, keeping that strong bend in the left knee. Shoulder blades down, gaze over the left hand. We'll windmill the arms around to frame the left foot, coming up onto the inner knot or toe mound. Extend the left foot back to meet the right. Pausing for the inhale. Exhale the hips high. On your next exhale, we'll lower the knees, untuck the toes, and bring the arms all the way around to clasp the heels, noticing how your chest rolls over the thighs, stretching the back for full child's pose. Connect with your breath here. And begin to walk the hands back, forward to the top of the mat, an extended child's pose. And then we'll begin to slither forward, coming onto our bellies. If you have that towel and you're on a hard surface, you may want to get it involved here again. And we'll just bring it out to the side of the mat if you have it. If not, no big deal. So bringing the left arm in as a pillow, you can turn onto one cheek. We'll bend the right knee, drawing the foot toward the glutes. Grabbing onto the front of the ankle here, we'll backward tilt the pelvis for a bigger stretch. Noticing how that drives the hip points into the mat. And you can flex your foot if you need a little more stretch on the quadricep and hip flexors. Close the eyes here, really sinking into the stretch. Noticing how the breath comes easier now, checking in with your heart rate. We were working hard earlier. Allow yourself to recover. Never losing that connection with your breath. Making sure that knee point draws directly away from you. And exhale to release the leg. This time we'll bend the right knee, bringing it out to the side. We're looking for a 90-degree angle at the ankle, knee, and hip. You can bring the arms back around front to relax. And as you sink in here, the idea is that the right hip point drives toward the mat. Each time you exhale, release a little more deeply. Release the gripping in the glutes and allow yourself to sink in, feeling that stretch, Keeping the foot flexed to protect the knee, everything else should be relaxed. From here, we'll extend the left arm out along the side like a wing, palm faces down. We'll use the right hand under the shoulder to press us up, rolling onto our left side. We'll bring the right leg up, the knee points up, the sole of the foot comes down behind the left leg. You can rest here. If there's any pain on the shoulder, you can draw that arm closer to the body, decreasing the angle at the shoulder joint. If you're here and this feels good, you can inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, internally rotate that arm, and bring it into the small of the back for scorpion twist. Should feel great along the pectoral muscle, along the deltoid. We'll inhale the right arm back up if it were behind the back, bringing it back down where your shoulder would land. Begin to untwine, coming back onto the belly. If you have that blanket or towel, you'd shift it onto the other side of the mat, preparing for the series on the other side. Using the arms to cushion the head, we'll bend the left knee, catching in front of the left ankle with the left hand, backward tilt the pelvis, flex the foot here, and begin to relax. Stretching the front of the left leg. And exhale to release the leg back down. This time we'll bend the left knee, drawing the leg out to the side, looking for that 90 degrees at the ankle, knee, and hip. Coming back to rest on your arms at the top of your mat. With each exhalation, release the gripping in the glutes. Allow the left hip point to drive down toward the mat. And receive the benefits of the stretch. We'll move to bring the right arm alongside the body, out like a wing, palm down. Using the left hand to press into the mat, bringing your body up onto the right side, moving toward the extended arm. We'll bring the left knee up toward the ceiling, planting the sole of the left foot behind the right knee. The option remains to extend the left arm toward the ceiling, internally rotate that arm, and bring it into the small of your back. The option is also there if you have any pain in this stretch to walk the hand closer to the body, decreasing that angle. If the arm is behind the back, we'll inhale it back up toward the ceiling and exhale, bringing it back to the mat. We'll press into that arm enough that we can bend the right arm and bring it into a more normal orientation, rolling back all the way over onto your back and centering yourself on your mat. Once you're centered, you can move anything out of the way that's touching you that shouldn't be touching you. Allow your arms to come out along the side, palms facing up, preparing for Shavasana. Close the eyes, and allow the breath to come naturally now. No more need to direct it. You can allow the feet to flop out to the side. Notice the heaviness where your heel connects to the mat. Release any gripping in the arch or the shin. Exhale away any tension remaining in the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, feeling the hips heavy on the mat. Bringing a softness to the belly. Each time you exhale, notice the rib cage collapsing a bit. Feeling that relaxation spread out from the sternum across the tops of the shoulders, down the arms, feeling the heaviness of the elbows and the tops of the hands on the floor. Bring a softness to the throat. Unhinge the jaw. Allow the eyes to be heavy in their sockets. Any remaining tension in the forehead melts away, down the temples and into the mat for Shavasana.